Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Well, students, we have started chapter number 10, International Business. Do you know? Well, this is the last chapter of your business studies, okay? And we have discussed in the previous class, we have discussed the definition, or you can say the meaning of international business and features of international business. Those who are absent, I take 2 minutes and just repeat the topic. Well, international business is that one which is done between two countries, okay? Internal business which is done inside the country, okay? And international business which is done beyond the geographical boundaries of your country, right? So international business, just use your mind, it's a question of common sense also. Two countries are involved, right? The different languages will be there, the different currencies will be involved, okay? And this will be more risky, more time consuming, and mobility of the factors will be less, okay? Different rule regulations, political interference of the two countries will be involved. So all these things are there, right? These are the features of international business, okay? So you just go through the features. These all are very easy, you will understand. Well, out of the features, yes, always remember students, when we do the definition, so features comes out from the definition, and from the features we have advantages and disadvantages, okay? Pros and cons go side by side. Well, if I talk about this girl, well, she is quite intelligent, she is good, having fair complexion and intelligent, but you know, she comes late in the class, okay? She comes late in the class. So this is what, I've just told everything about her. Something good and a little drawback also. 11th commerce. Yes, are you getting, students? So have you understood? So we have talked about the qualities of this girl. So so many good qualities, and one drawback is also there, that she comes late in the class. So you know, everyone has some good and bad qualities. So when we discuss the feature of any topic, so we have the merits and demerits under the features only, okay? Features always contain both the things, all right? Now we have the advantages, or you can say the benefit of international business. So the first benefit is benefits to nation, okay? Which benefit your nation is having. So earning of foreign exchange. Well, we have discussed it yesterday that you know, if I'm purchasing something from any other country, so I have my currency, so I'll be paying my currency, and they need their own currency, so that will be exchange, all right? And in the same way, if I'm selling something, so I have given the goods and I want money, so I want money in rupees, okay? They don't have rupees, they have their own currency, so that will also be converted. So that way the things goes on. So earning of foreign exchange, so that way we earn foreign exchange, okay? So that will be converted, but where has it converted? This has been converted in our you know, FERA, as I have told you, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. So that has exchanged by the RBI, or certain scheduled banks are there. So our country is earning foreign exchange, okay? So international business helps a country to earn foreign exchange, which can be used for payment for imports of the capital goods, technology, petroleum products, fertilizers, pharmaceutical products, etc. So when we have earned the foreign currency, though, that will be helpful when we purchase something from any other country. Alright, so we don't have to give our currency, we can use that. Well, next benefit is more efficient use of resources. Well, every country produces selected goods and services which it can produce most effectively and efficiently with the resources it possesses. Gradually, it attains specialization in the production of these goods and services, leading to efficient utilization of the resources. Well, more efficient use of the resources. Once you have started doing the production, okay, that is on the large scale. When you are selling in the country, so the area can be limited, but when you are selling outside of your country, so more goods need to be produced. And when you do more production, so you know, the scale of economy is applicable, and efficient use of the resources. The resources which are available. Resources means it can be your finance, it can be finance, we call it capital, okay? it can be manpower, it can be electricity, and certain your raw material is there. Okay, so very efficiently you are using the resources. Next we have accelerates economic growth. Well, when we are doing, you might have noticed, students, you must have listened also, during the lockdown our economy has got down and GDP has gone in the negative. How this has happened? This is because no businesses was there, no production, okay, no trading was there. The whole country's business has been stopped for a few months, right? So this has happened. So it's telling accelerate economic growth. So when you are doing more and more something, more production you are doing, more trading you are doing, not only in the country, you are doing the business outside of your country, so your economy develops, your GDP increases. So international trade results in increase in production. The firm increases their production capacity to supply goods in foreign country, which results in economic growth of the country. Have you understood that? Are you understanding, students? Are you comfortable with the language? Yesterday I have asked you, somebody needs to be repeated in Hindi? Fine? Okay. Next is increase in employment. Well, if you start any small business, okay, chai wala also needs an assistant who can, one is preparing the tea and another one is getting the order and supplying the tea and getting the money. He needs one person to assist him. So he is providing employment to one person. As the level of your business increases, if it is on a small level, you might have noticed in the Churi market, the shops where we visit generally, so you'll find 2-3 people are there, okay, salesmen are there. So as the level of your business increases, you need more and more people to help you in the different area, somewhere in the production, somewhere in the sales, finance, marketing, so and so. So it generates employment. Well, when you are doing international business, foreign trade you are doing, so you need so many people. Again, that depends upon the size of your business, that how many people you need, and you have given employment to how many people. Is that clear? Next we have increased standard of living. Well, students, when you are earning less, so whatever the standard one is possessing, that's fine. But as one is earning more, started earning more, so he started using some more facilities, okay, started sending his children to the better school. So his standard of living increases with the increase in the income. Do you agree? So the same thing is here. A country can't produce everything required by its citizen. And as we are talking about the nation, not about a particular person, so the standard of living of one country's countryman, that increases. Country ka level kab increase hota hai? Why do we call this USA and all that? These are the developed countries, because all the resources, technologies are there, the people they are having, each and everyone is having the employment, per capita income is more. That is why we call these countries as the developed countries, but R is a developing country. Okay, so a country can't produce everything required by its citizen, though international business, the world community can use the goods and services produced in other country. So international business enables every country to import foreign goods. Well, the items which is not produced in our country, we know that each and every country is not self-sufficient. Okay, they are not producing everything. More or less they have to be dependent on somebody. So the items which is not produced in our country, so we buy it from another countries, means import, and we provide it to the countryman. Okay, so that way one nation improves the standard of living. Is that clear, students? Now, stability in prices. Well, international business helps in bringing about stability in the prices of the domestic products. How this works? In economics, have you studied the demand and supply? Do you have an idea of that? Well, it's telling that stability in prices. I tell you, students, suppose one item which we are using and there is a shortage in our country, okay? That item is not produced more in quantity and there is a shortage. So what happens? This situation is called that demand is increasing but supply is less. The supply is constant, you can say, or it is less, but demand is increasing day by day. So how it affects on the prices? Well, the prices will increase or decrease? Prices will increase. There are 2 things available in the market and 10 people are standing there to purchase. Its ordinary price is 2000 and the seller says, well, that's very good, 10 people are standing and I have 2 items only. आपने कहा कि 2000 नहीं 5000 में जिसको लेना है ले जाओ. Now the person who will be having 5000 and willing to pay 5000 for the product whose value is 2000, so they will get. So when your supply is constant or less, but demand increases, in this situation price increases. Do you agree? Have you understood how? Well, in this situation your international business helps you out. We fulfill the supply by importing the goods. Are you getting? In our country there is no more production, no more goods are available, so we can purchase it from outside of the country and we can supply the goods to the consumers. So demand can be fulfilled, so supply increases. Are you getting? This way the prices will not increase, there will be stability in the prices. Have you understood? Are you getting? प्राइजेस नहीं बढ़ेंगे क्योंकि जो सप्लाई की कमी थी, प्रोडक्ट की कमी थी, वो हमने बाहर से खरीद के उस कमी को पूरा कर लिया. ऑलराइट, एंड वाइस वर्सा. वेल, इफ यू हैव समथिंग एक्सेस, your demand is constant. We people are using one particular item, our demand is constant, or we can say it is not increasing. Sometime it may decrease also. Alright, but your supply is increasing, means more and production is taking place. Suppose you people are businessmen and you are producing one particular item, producing on daily basis, but demand has decreased, or you can say the constant demand is there. Supply बढ़ती जा रही है, ठीक है? You might have noticed students, in the winter we have so many tomatoes available in the market, excess, So we use tomato, that's fine. Well, tomato, everywhere you'll find tomatoes, but we have a limit of the consumption of tomato. Tomatoes ज़्यादा है, इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है कि सुबह शाम रात हमेशा tomatoes खाते रहेंगे और कुछ नहीं खाएंगे. It doesn't happen. So there is a limit to purchase, isn't it? So demand is, you can say it is increasing a little bit, and after one level that fixes, that stops increasing, okay? But supply is constantly increasing because farmers, they have grown it in the fields and this is the time of harvesting the tomatoes. तो वो जैसे ही रेडी हो जाएंगे हार्वेस्टिंग के लिए तो वो अवेलेबल होंगे मार्केट में, ठीक है? तो इस सिचुएशन में क्या होगा, हम गए मार्केट में, टमाटो का क्या रेट है, उन्होंने कहा 10 रुपीज़ पर केजी. आई सेड ओके, गिव मी 1 kg. उन्होंने कहा 2 किलो ले लो, 3 किलो ले लो, रेट कम कर देंगे. अच्छा 5 किलो ले लो, 5 रुपये किलो लगा देंगे. मैंने कहा नहीं भैया, क्या करूँगी, फेंकने के लिए थोड़ी लेने हैं, मुझे तो सिर्फ 1 किलो ही चाहिए. आर यू गेटिंग? सो व्हेन सप्लाई इंक्रीजेस and demand is not increasing at that speed, at that level, so what happens, what is the effect on the price? Price decreases. Understood that? So the same situation is taking place in the country. Alright, now what happens, prices are falling. So to avoid this situation, who helps you? Your international business is helping you. You have manufactured the items and that is not used by your countrymen. So what can you do now? What solution is available? You send it outside. You sell it to any other country. You can export these goods, isn't it? Have you understood that? So you don't have to decrease the prices. Tomatoes are available here, although these are the perishable goods, we can't export it. But this principle is not applicable for the perishable goods, but at rest of the places this is applicable. Durable goods के लिए applicable होता है, ठीक है? समझ आ गया? So we can export these goods and prices will be stable. Understood? So these were the benefits to the nation. Now what are the benefits to firms? Okay, firms means आप लोग जो production कर रहे हैं, businessmen. The first one is prospects for higher profits. Well, when you are selling 20 items in a day, that provides you more profit, and when you are selling 100 items in a day, of course 100 items आप दिन में बेचेंगे तो ज़्यादा profit होगा ना. So when you have started exporting the things, because you have a limited market in your country, आपने बाहर भी बेचना शुरू कर दिया तो definitely your profits will increase. Okay. Next is increased capacity utilization. By producing export orders, a firm can make use of its surplus production capacity. Production on large scale leads to economies of scale, which in turn lowers the cost of production. Well, this we have discussed in the previous topic. increased capacity utilization. When you are producing 100 items with the help of one machinery, right? So its cost per unit will be more. But this was, 100 units were demanded in your country. आपकी country में कितना demand था? 100 units का था. ठीक है? So 100 units were demanded in your country, and when you have started exporting the things, 900 units you have started selling over there. I'm not talking about per month or per annum, whatever. Okay? So now total 1000 units you are producing. And the capacity of your machinery which you are using for manufacturing these products, that is 1000. At a time when you switch on the machinery and one person is required on that, computerized machinery is there. As you switch on the machinery, same amount of electricity will be consumed, same salary you are giving to the person. Hardly matter how many products it is generating, either 100 or 1000. So the same cost will be there. When we appropriate this cost on number of item, so that matters. If you appropriate, like if you divide that cost in 100 products, the cost will be more. And if I split that cost for this 1000 item, so the cost per unit will be less. For example, for better understanding, well, either I teach 5 students in this class, okay, my salary will be same. Either I teach 5 students in this class or 50 students, my speaking volume will be same, my efforts will be same. Either I teach 1 student, I have to complete the syllabus of BSc in accountancy, alright? Or either I teach 50 students, the same things will be there. So in which situation this will be beneficial to the school? Everyone has to pay fee, of course. 5 students are paying the fee or 50 students are paying the fee with the same salary, with the same fan, electricity and this room resources. Yes, what will be beneficial, students? 50 students. So please, if you understood, just answer me. 50 students wala solution is better, na? So earning is more. Same thing happens here. If you produce 100 items in the machine, on one machinery, so it will be more costly, means giving less revenue, less profit. And if you are producing 1000 items, so that will provide more profits. Means you are utilizing the whole capacity of your machinery. Okay. So increased capacity utilization. Next is your way out to intense competition in domestic market. Well, intense competition, way out. Well, when I'm selling my goods to in my country only, so many other people are there. My neighbor is there. Other rivals are there who all they are also dealing in the same product. They are also selling same thing. Well, I can't charge anything more. I can't increase the price by 50 paisa even. 50 पैसा भी बढ़ा दिया तो they will say कि वो तो 10 rupees में दे रहा है, आप 10 rupees 50 पैसा extra किस लिए ले रहे हैं? The same product, same things are there. Are you getting? Does this happen with you? You know the prices. We do the survey these days. Customers are very much aware about the product, and before going to the market, we just visit the websites and all. We survey the things and then we buy. All right. So we are well aware about the prices. We know well in advance. फ्लिपकार्ट पे कितना है, अमेजोन पे कितना है, मिंत्रा पे कितना है, ये सब हमें पता होता है ना, सारा सर्वे करके कि वहाँ तो 20 रुपये महंगा है, वहाँ 100 रुपीज़ सस्ता है, दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग. सो दिस इज इंटेंस कॉम्पिटिशन इन द मार्केट. राइवल्स आर देयर, यू कांट चार्ज मोर, एंड इफ दे चार्ज मोर, सो फ्रॉम वेयर वी बाय फ्रॉम द प्लेस हु इज चार्जिंग लेस. जहाँ पे फ्री डिलीवरी है वहाँ लेंगे, या जहाँ पे चार्जेबल होगी वहाँ लेंगे. राइट, दिस इज द टेंडेंसी ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट एवरीवन. वी आर द कंज्यूमर्स. ओके. So this tells that way out of intense competition in domestic market. Well, when you have this much competition in the internal business, internal market, domestic market inside the country, so why don't we search a new market where there is no rival standing, and if the rivals are there, there will be very less. So I can sell out my goods out of my country. Do you understand? Foreign business, यानी मैं export कर सकता हूँ. ठीक है. If I sell it inside the country, so limited profit will be there, limited customer will be there, limited amount I can charge. I can't charge even 1 rupee extra, right? But if I sell it outside, then any price I can charge. Okay. Next we have prospects for growth. So when demand of a firm's products starts getting saturated in domestic market, The firm has to search overseas markets for improving its growth prospects. Well, prospects for growth. Everyone wants that I must grow. Okay, I must grow means, I have produced one item, I'm selling in Alwar. Okay, and almost, every family is using the product which is produced by my firm or my company. Getting my point? Everyone is using the product which is manufactured by my company. Now what? अब क्या करोगे? सब तो यूज कर रहे हैं, अब क्या चाहते हो? अलवर में कहाँ से और जनरेशन लेके आए? The people are not available, so you are earning very very handsome amount. Still your desire is to earn more. Growth, you want growth, prospects to growth. Now what? Well, you are planning, you are thinking, and you thought, if I go outside of the Alwar, so I can have a profit, isn't it? You can visit to another customers. You have selected one another place, Bhiwadi, you have visited there, and you have started selling to so many people. So there is a growth outside of the Alwar. So in the same way, some customers, some producers are there, some companies are there, they have access to each and everyone, their product is used by everyone, but still they want growth. For this, what they can do? They can sell it outside of the country. अपनी country के बाहर बेच सकते हैं, and some new customers will be there and the more profit will be there. Are you getting? समझ आ गया तुषार? Well, next we have improved business vision. Well, the vision to become international comes from the urge to grow. Companies get strategic and technical advantages by going international. Many companies are including it in their main objectives and strategy. The growth of international business of many companies like Pepsi, Samsung, Ford Motors, so and so, is essentially a part of their business policies to become more competitive and to diversify. Improved business vision. Well, this point is explaining everything whatever we have done till now. Improved business vision, that tells that you don't want to be confined to your country only. If you are doing business in your country, as the previous topic is just related to this one, so you will confine to a limited area. Your business and your profit will be limited. There is a limit in one country, as I have given you an example of Alwar city. So there is a limit in Alwar city or no? I've just told you, you have access to each and everyone, and your product is used by everyone, used in every family. Then what? If you need more growth and you want to grow your business, then you have to go outside. So the same thing is done by these companies. The certain names are there: Pepsi, Samsung, Ford Motors, Hindustan Unilever Limited. You just take the products which you are using and just go through the name of a company, you'll find all that. Okay, so these companies, they are not confined to one country. They are reaching almost they have a reach in each and every country of the world. Okay, so that way you have a vision, the improved business vision. So if you want to grow, then you have to think about the international business. You have to move from your home country. All right, students, so these were the benefits, or you can say the advantages of the international business. Well, we have discussed separately benefits to the nation and benefits to the country. All right, and of course we people also have a benefit. Well, next we have, the time is 23 minutes. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the problems also. Problems, or you can say the complexities of international business, as we have discussed. From the definition and meaning, we have what? We have features. From the meaning and definition, we have features, and from the features we have merits and demerits. Pros and cons go side by side. So we have discussed about the advantages. Now definitely some problems are there in the international business. Well, the first one is distance, isn't it, students? Distance सुन के आपको क्या लगा? That's very true. Well, it's not as convenient as our internal businesses there. You just go to the market, have a look on the things. आपका पर्सनल टच है, आप इजीली देख सकते हैं, उसको इजीली रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. गारंटी, वारंटी, यू कैन टच द थिंग्स. ओके, यू कैन वेरीफाई द थिंग्स, and then you can purchase immediately within no time. Of course it take a little time, right? if we have a different prospects to think. If we compare it with international business, so we find that distance is a big problem. It takes more time also. These things we will find in different points. So due to long distance between countries, it's difficult to establish quick and personal contacts between traders from different countries. There is a large time gap between the placement of an order and receipt of goods from foreign country. Well, the distance factor leads to higher cost of transportation and greater risk. Thus, goods have to be insured. So all these problems we are facing due to distance. Okay, I think it's very, very clear. Next, we have different currency. This also we have used. Well, if it is my internal business, there is no problem. Either this is Kerala, Assam or any other place, I have to pay in rupee. This conversion problem I don't have to face. Easily we can deal that. We can give the bank draft, we can make the payment through the bank draft, NEFT, RTGS, कुछ भी फटाफट से हो सकता है payment. Okay? Online में हम करते हैं ना, within no time we make the payment. Well, but if it is international business, this doesn't happen. Certain other formalities are there. We have to convert the currencies. Well, next problem is different language. We have the same language. Okay, either this is online or offline, and if we go to some other place like Kerala and all, still we know tutti frutti English and they know tutti frutti Hindi, so we can manage the thing inside the country. But if you go outside of the country, if you go to the China, so those people, they are very rigid to their language and other things. They don't know even English, so you need a translator or you have to learn Chinese, so and so. So means generally people face problem. Okay, those who are doing business, I mean international business, so language is a big problem for that. So they have to, of course they solve their problem, but that needs money. Okay, well, next is legal formalities. Well, I know that you didn't study the VST, but if those or if anybody has studied this and you have gone through the chapters, chapter number 2, where we have learned how to start the businesses, form a business organization, and how a company has been formed. A lot of legal formalities are there in the company if you have gone through. So when you are starting international business, you are trading something or exporting and importing, so it needs a lot of legal formalities. Okay, in this chapter even that has mentioned. We have an export procedure and import procedure, although that has been deleted from your syllabus, but I'll give you an idea about it, how does this happen. So a lot of legal formalities are there. So it's telling a large number of documents have to be filed and custom duties are paid on imports and exports. These formalities involve much time and efforts. Well, next one is blocked capital. Circulation of money, operating cycle, it takes a lot of time. Operating cycle means when your resources are being converted into money again. Like आप production कर रहे हैं तो you have purchased the raw material, capital you have invested, then you have manufactured the goods, okay, then you have supplied it to outside of the country, and they have made the payment, and when the payment reaches you, this way the operating cycle completes. Are you getting? Means आपने जो product दिया है, जब उसका पैसा आपको मिलेगा और वो प्रोडक्ट जो आपने बनाया है उस पर कितना पैसा आपने खर्च किया है, तो वो आपको वहीं से मिलेगा. So this operating cycle takes a lot of time, right? So blocked capital, in this process, as the more time will be consumed due to distance and certain other drawbacks of this international business, our more capital has been blocked in this. Internal business में क्या होता है? You are a businessman, customers are coming to you, they have purchased and they have paid you the money. As you receive the money, जैसे ही आपने बेचा, आपको पैसा मिल गया, so your money is recovered, so you can use it further. You can use this money, you can utilize this money, the place wherever you want, you can purchase some more item, but this takes a lot of time in export or in international business. आप goods दे रहे हैं, पैसा मिलने में time लगता है. So traders have to often depend upon a chain of intermediators in international business. There is a long time gap between the dispatch of goods by the exporter and their receipt and payment by the importer. Therefore, the capital of the exporter is blocked for a long period. Have you understood, students? Next one is nationality of buyer, seller, and other stakeholders. Well, the different people inside the country, in internal trade, everyone belongs to the same country. The businessman, customers, your employees, okay, and those who have invested money in your company, shareholders, debenture holder, all these people belong to the same country. But in international business, these people are from the different countries. Okay, seller is from somewhere else and buyer is from somewhere else. Maybe the employees are from somewhere else. Okay, so people of organizations of different countries participate in international business transactions. Various other stakeholders such as supplier, employees, middleman, shareholders, and partners are also from different nations. Okay. And the last point is mobility of the factors of production. This we have already discussed. Mobility of the factors. Less mobility is there. The things are less movable here. Well, the degree of mobility of factor of production like labor and capital across nation is relatively less. While these factors of production can move freely within the country, these exist various restrictions to their movement across the nation. Well, inside the country, the restrictions are not that much. Easily, you can send the raw material from this place to another one. You can have the laborers from another place. If the laborers are not available in Alwar, I can ask somebody to send the labor from the area where it is available, where the laborers are available in excess. Okay. But in international business, this doesn't happen, right? Mobility of the factors are not there. If I need certain employees, from China, some technicians from China, some technicians from Japan, so that's not so easy to have. The things will be costly and not easily available. Understood? Well, these kind of problems international business has to face. Okay? And in practical life, certain other problems may arise. Right, students? So we have completed this topic, and in next class we will discuss about the differences between domestic trade and international trade, international business. Although we have discussed all these things here also, but systematically we'll be doing in next class. So by the time, learn these topics and prepare notes. Thank you.